Good morning, Kern County. Thanks for watching 23 ABC News at 11 a.m. I'm Lindsey Adams. We do start with some breaking news regarding the high-speed rail. A judge has ruled that the system did not violate promises made to voters when state funding was approved for the project. The decision by a Sacramento County Superior Court judge allows the project to move forward. Attorneys who represent a group of landowners from Kings County claim that the numbers from the project were not reliable and asked a judge to block the state from spending more money on it. The judge said because the project is still in the preliminary stages, it's still too premature for a court to intervene. And this morning, authorities in Oregon say the shooting death of a man who helped lead a standoff at a national wildlife refuge was justified. Back in January, Robert Lavoie Finicum helped start an Occupy movement that lasted for weeks. During a traffic stop following the occupation of the refuge, Oregon State Police opened fire on Finicum, killing him. Today, authorities said a loaded handgun was found in his pocket, which they say he started to reach for, leading police to open fire. Supporters of Finicum had previously said he did nothing to provoke the shooting. This morning, Bakersfield police are looking for anyone who fired shots at an apartment complex. Police say shots were fired in the 2600 block of Real Road around 9 this morning. No one was hit and no arrests have been made. We are continuing to follow a developing story at this hour after a Southeast Bakersfield church erupts in flames. Officials say the call went out around 5 o'clock this morning. Witnesses reported flames shooting from the roof. When city and county crews arrived on scene, they found a large hole in the roof where the AC unit had collapsed. Now, it took about 20 minutes to contain and no other structures were threatened. Arson investigators are on scene looking for the cause. No one was injured. This morning, Kern County fire investigators are trying to determine what caused an empty home to go up in flames. And according to fire officials, the fire broke out around 11 last night on the 2500 block of Security Avenue. There were initial reports that people were trapped inside, but fire crews weren't able to find anyone. Right now, it's not known what caused that fire. And fire investigators are also looking into the cause of a small fire at a supermarket. The fire was reported last night at the Fresh Foods International Marketplace in the area of White Lane and Stein. No injuries were reported, and it's not known what caused the blaze. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Elena Rusk for our first look at your KernCast 23. Good morning out there, Elena.
Hey, they're coming up.
Looking good. Thanks, Elena. This morning, we now know who will be competing for the Mirrorball Trophy in Season 22 of Dancing with the Stars. Last week, we found out that Good Morning America Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z and Fuller House star Jodie Sweetin will be hitting the dance floor. And today, the entire cast was revealed. Joining Z and Sweetin will be NFL players Antonio Brown and Von Miller. Football legend Doug Flutie and Donald Trump's ex-wife Marla Maples are the other contestants, to name a few. So to see the full list of contestants, just download the all-new 23 ABC mobile and tablet app. The California Highway Patrol is hosting a Smart Start class for teens designed to prevent crashes. Traffic collisions are the leading cause of death among teens ages 16 to 19 years old. Today, young drivers will learn safe driving habits, things like how to avoid a collision and reminders to avoid distracted driving. In California alone, teens are found responsible in 66% of all accidents. The free Start Smart class will be this evening at the CHP 420 Club at 3910 Alfred Harrell Highway starting at 6 p.m. Parents are encouraged to attend with their children, and to sign up, call the Bakersfield CHP office at 864-4444. More than 24 of Kern County's best spellers competed last night to see who was tops in that area. It was a 7th grader from Freedom Middle School with an acquisitive nature that brought home the gold. The winner of the Scripps Kern County Spelling Bee was Talea Wynn, who correctly spelled acquisitive in round 16 after the other 2 remaining students missed their words. And it wasn't the toughest word that Talea faced last night.
Some of the words I didn't really know, and I had to spell them based off my knowledge. I've never heard Wellington before, so I was like, I had to base it off on other parts of words that I've spelled before.
The winner of the Rosedale District Spelling Bee last month, she will now go on to compete in the Scripps National Spelling Bee in Washington, D.C. So congrats to her. And still here to come on 23 ABC News at 11 a.m. SWAT standoff. The victim of the standoff in Taft has taken a turn for the worse. More on the condition when 23 ABC News returns. 9 people are being treated this morning after a commuter train traveling from San Jose to Stockton plunged into a creek. Rail service for the Alamont Corridor Express, or ACE, has been suspended for today. A downed tree on the tracks caused the ACE train to derail last night and roll over into the creek. Alameda County firefighters worked fast to rescue passengers from fast-moving currents. Fire officials say 4 people were seriously hurt. 5 others had minor injuries.
It's scary. It's still scary. You know, somebody was watching over us tonight. Everybody got out, and everybody's going to hopefully be okay. And, you know, all I can say is we've got a lot to be thankful for. I was never more happy to see flashing lights in my life.
There were 214 passengers on the train, and most of the passengers were able to get themselves out of the train uninjured. This morning, the victim of a shooting in Taft is now in a coma and is in critical condition. The victim has not been identified, and Taft police say the suspect is still on the loose. The shooting led to a standoff that lasted for several hours between the sheriff's SWAT team and the man that they believe pulled the trigger, Anthony Finnegan. The SWAT team began calling for Finnegan to exit the house with his hands up around 4:30 yesterday, and after several attempts, officers moved in. SWAT teams eventually moved in, but Finnegan was not in the home. Finnegan is still on the loose and is now wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. This morning, police are investigating a case where a tow truck driver repossessed a car with a baby inside. This happened yesterday morning on South Union Avenue. When the drivers realized the baby was inside, he stopped and called Bakersfield police. It's unclear where the child's mother was at the time of the incident. 3 people are in jail this morning tied to a stabbing and a murder in southwest Bakersfield. And last Thursday, BPD found Fasto Flores of Bakersfield with stab wounds in the 700 block of Pacheco Road in the southwest. Flores later died of his injuries. Now a juvenile and 2 adults are facing charges of conspiracy, murder, and gang participation. A Tehachapi doctor will be spending about 6 months behind bars for implanting unapproved birth control devices in female patients. Dr. Paul Singh was sentenced yesterday in federal court for putting IUDs that he ordered on the internet and are not approved by the FDA. Several patients complained to him about the devices, or rather than replace them, Singh reinserted the same devices. Now, these IUDs can cause pelvic inflammatory disease and hysterectomies, among other things. Up next, Uber complaints, new charges surfacing against the ride-sharing company. We'll have more on that situation when 23 ABC News returns. And in today's Right This Minute video, a group of dog owners, they organized a family reunion.
Okay.
4 years ago, Laura Lane adopted. Oh, this is cute. Look at that 8-week-old puppy. That's Samo.
Okay.
Yeah, he's named from the Animal Haven Center in New York. Yeah, it seemed one of 7 dogs from the same litter at the center that day. And his 4th adoption anniversary, Lane decides to get Samo's siblings back together for the first time since they were all adopted out. A dog never forgets.
Interesting. Hey, let's take a look outside.